Hey there. There's not many games that spawn their own genre, but one of them is called Rogue. And you might play roguelites, such procedurally generated games, but what's Rogue, the game that started them all? Well, looks like there's been a Steam release of the original Rogue, and I think it's time to have a go. I mean, I've played hundreds of roguelikes in my life, but funnily enough, I've never played the original. So, let's have a look, see how it stacks up. 1985. That's how old it is. Let's fire up this fossil. So here we are, playing Rogue, the original. As you can see, it's basic as you'd expect from 1985. And that little smiley cheeky chappy is you. And you're instantly thrown into the first level of the dungeon. So the goal of this game is to, I think, get to the last level, which is level 26, I think, and find the legendary Amulet of Yendor and win the game. So it's, if you played Angband, Moria, ADOM, any of them games, you'd be instantly at home in Rogue, obviously, because they're all based on this game. But Rogue's obviously older, it's more stripped down, more basic, but it's still a lot of fun. So how does this stack up with the rest of its children? Well, it's, as I say, it's very basic. Graphics are irrelevant in a classic roguelike. Let's have a look at the stats. And down the bottom there, you've even got a few. Basically your level, which goes up as you kill monsters, obviously. You get hits, which is your HP. As you level up, you get more HP, and some items can increase your HP. Your strength, which is your attack damage. Gold, which is used for random shops. And armor, which is your defense. You have the infantry, like most roguelikes. You start with some food, some armor and a weapon, and a bow as well. There is hunger in this game, so you will need to find food all the time. You do regenerate health as well. So it's your standard fare, really. We look at the list of commands given this game. There's quite a few. Nothing really unusual. Basic manipulating items, eating food, equipping weapons, wearing armor, drinking potions. You can run. You can use wands, stuff like that, really. And it has a reference for what each tile represents, which is quite cool. And there's not a lot, so it's not like you can't remember it. It also states there's only 26 monsters, one for each letter of the alphabet. But at the time, I think it's 1985. I suppose they were limited how much memory they had, how many characters they could actually use. So how does Rogue play compared to its children? Basically, exactly the same. Really no different. It's got the basic movement, left, right, up, down, diagonal movement. The gameplay is exactly the same. It's just a case of going into a room, and it's obviously randomly generated. Might be a monster in, there might be items in. Kill the monster, like that. Pick up the items. Hopefully the items will benefit you, make you more stronger, or help you in some way. It's just a case of exploring, opening doors, going down corridors, going into rooms, looting rooms, killing monsters, rinse, repeat. The usual rogue or roguelike method of play, really. I mean, what features does it have? I can really say. I mean, you can regenerate health. It does have secret doors. They can go to sealed off areas. Sometimes you'll get stuck and you can't progress, and you'll have to search for them secret doors. It also features traps, trap tiles, few far between really. And it's basically a case of just searching through the floor until you get to the stairs, go down the stairs, and that level's slightly harder. And hopefully you've accumulated some XP, leveled up, to get a bit more HP. Maybe a few items so you're stronger for the next floor. Hopefully, you know, the game won't be too unfair. I will say it's pretty easy at the start, more so than most roguelikes, classic roguelikes. Okay, so I've played a little bit. I've gone down a few levels, and what I've played so far, I haven't found it too difficult. It's a lot easier than ADOM and other classic roguelikes. There's not a big variety of monsters, and there's not a lot of them either. They usually come at you one at a time. Now and again they get one, two or three, and that's rare. As I say, there's not a big variety. If you go on to the reference for what each tile is, there's not a lot of tiles, as you can see. There's only 26 different monsters in the game, so most of them are usually just the standard orc, hobgoblin, which is basically just hit repeatedly till they die. There are a couple with abilities. There's an ice monster that shoots an ice beam and freezes you. I counted a leprechaun that stole your money. So I imagine as further I go down, I might find some more interesting monsters. Item wise, extremely limited to how much you can carry. I mean, that's a full infantry. You'll find a lot of gibberish scrolls and coloured potions, which you obviously have to use or drink to find out what they are. Equipment wise, I haven't come across. I found a crossbow. I'm still not sure how you shoot. I can't find the command for it. So, would I recommend Steam version of Rogue? Well, yes, I certainly would recommend this game. There's a few reasons why I recommend it. The first, and there's, you know, the obvious, it's pretty fun to play. It's a good little game. And you got to remember this was made 35 years ago, which was, you know, a long time for some people. A long time for me. I think back then, when I was a child, if I played this game, I'd have been amazed by it. I think it would have been in them like classic childhood games I'd look back fondly and say, ooh, remember that game Rogue? That was a great game. I really enjoyed it. And it still holds up even 35 years later. There's not many games that can do that. There's a lot of games I played in the past and I thought, I really enjoyed when I was younger, and I play it now, and without the nostalgia glasses, and then say, no, it wasn't as good as remembered. Well, I think this would have been one of them games I would have played for. Yeah, it's still a good game, still a great game to play. Yeah, so I say it's pretty simple and fun. It's a good little game. Also, you know, this is a game, a legendary game, I'd say. That's spawned its own genre, the roguelike genre. This is the game that started it. Yeah, it's not as prestigious as like Doom. You know, it spawned its own genre. But for many years, it was like a sub gaming scene with the roguelikes on the PC for years. Well, you know, it was largely ignored until recently, where the roguelike genre has exploded. Mainly because a lot of newer procedural generated games, random games, have tagged on that roguelike title when they're not even roguelikes. Because you can't tell me Slay the Spire in Faster Than Light is a roguelike. Because, you know, look what I'm playing now. It's not like this game, is it really? So you can't call it a roguelike. So, I mean, who'd recommend this for? I mean, if you're getting new into the roguelike genre and you want to play the classic roguelikes like I said before, like ADOM, you want to play NetHack, Moria, Angband, great games I played for years. This is the perfect game because all them games are based on Rogue. So if you play Rogue, you'll get a foundation, a basic understanding how to play them. Because this is a lot simpler than them games. It's got far less items, far less monsters, far less mechanics. It's a simple dungeon crawling game, and it's a fun game. With the Steam release, it's great because before you'd have to play it through DOSBox, and it's all done for you. Simple click on Steam, loads up, full screen, ready to play, and it's also very, very cheap. It's only £2, a couple of dollars, less than price on the coffee. I mean, you can't be that cheap, can you? If you're experienced at roguelikes, still worth a play, just to see what Rogue's like. For a fun little fast dungeon run. Yeah, it's a great little game. So yeah, I recommend it. And that's it for my little review. Hopefully I'll be making some more reviews on roguelikes. I'm going to hopefully try to review most roguelikes and bring them out there. The popular ones you might not have even heard of, new ones, old ones, and hopefully, if my channel does well, I'm going to try to venture out into more classic games, retro games, highlight some old forgotten games, and do reviews on them. So thank you for watching my video, and goodbye.